Today is May 30th, 2026. I did my first video on my Aventador project on November 27th, 2020. So those people who are building these need to realize that sometimes it takes some time to do this. Today was the first drive under its own power with the new axles. Everything was hooked up. Had a little issue with the front coilovers need to be adjusted before we could actually drive it. Brian took care of that. Also want to point out, I couldn't have done this without Brian. He's been so invaluable in doing all this. But today let's talk about how I got my axle solutions figured out, got them fixed in, and then the brakes. The brakes were really, they were another problem. So I learned a lot, finally got them fixed, and more details we'll show you in the video. A couple little minor things. I put some heat shield on the shifter cable, got my ODB2 sensor to work, and also put in a heat shield like you can see behind me here. I'll show you about that. But like I said, today was a good day. Calls for a celebration. So enjoy the video. Okay, here's the solution for my axles. And Eric Martin make me some 3.5-inch extensions. This part goes into the transaxle. Then I took the cap off of the standard axle, sent it to Eric, and then he machined these, so essentially the axle will have this. Now I don't need that part because this will fit inside here like that. So originally I needed a 3.5 extension. With that extension on now, the axle should fit just fine. Now to do that, I picked up some, these are 10 mil by 140 millimeter bolts with I think a 1.5 thread pitch, and those will go through the axle, the spacer, and screw into the adapter or the flange on the transaxle. So now I just have to put it all together and get them mounted. We'll see how this goes. Should be really good. Okay, I got the 3.5-inch spacers mounted to the transaxle. These are 140 millimeter long bolts. And now I can use the standard Lexus axles and everything seems to work. So that was an alternative to getting custom-made axles, which were, you know, $1,500 to $2,000. So I got the adapters and that works good. Now the only issue, I got the axles in getting ready to drive and tried bleeding the brakes, had leaks all over the place, and this will explain what I had to do. I had to go through and redo a bunch of these fittings, but still have one issue here. These are AN fittings, which are 37 degrees, and these are standard 45 degree fittings, and so it has a tendency to want to leak there. So I've got some copper washers on the way, which hopefully will resolve that issue. So keep working at it. Okay, here's another lesson learned. Basically I used nickel copper tubing, which is much easier to bend and form. And So I've been using that on all of the tubing. Now what I found out, because it's much softer, as you can see here, because I'm using this hydraulic flare tool, because it's softer, it's much easier to over flare. Now when you over flare those, that means that you're going to have a leak. So basically I've had to go through and essentially re-flare almost every fitting on the car, especially those that went into the T's. So if you're using nickel copper tubing, just be careful. I mean, when I use steel tubing, you had to really use the hydraulic to really form it, but on nickel copper you got to be really careful you don't over flare. Okay, for the rear shocks, replace these. I went with an Amazon special. So I got 2 sets of these, 250-pound springs, 10 inches long, which should fit. Now there may be, I don't know, on this section right here is going to be very close. I may have to notch this, we'll see. But the difference is these AFCO springs, they're a little bit narrower, and that's AFCO is what they call for on the back. Now, these are a little bit bigger, but they're, let's see, these were $450 for the 2 of them, for the 2 sets, and that would have been about $1,000 on AFCO. So sometimes you just have to make do with what you can afford. Okay, one of the issues I have to deal with is all these bolts and holes are 1/2 inch, and these shocks, these holes are 5/8 of an inch. So rather than re-drilling everything and getting 5/8 inch bolts, I bought a box of 5/8 inch OD, 1/2 inch ID spacers, and then these will go in there. So now I just need to go back and cut off all the little spacers that are already in there. The rear shock's installed. Looks like it's going to work out just fine. So now I just need to put the axles in, hook up the brake lines, bleed it, and then I should be able to drive. Making a heat shield for the muffler. Basically built a frame out of 1/2 inch flat bar, and then this will get painted, and then the inside will get covered with a actual heat shield material. I have it cleat-coated in place right now. Take it apart and get it painted. Okay, heat shield has been fastened to the frame, and the heat material has been put on the back. Now I just need to put it on the car. Okay, heat shield installed. Gives me some air gap there, and you'll probably never see this. You will see this upper part, but one more thing to check off the list. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would, and be sure and turn on your post notifications. Thank you for watching.